Luigi Mangione admitting to the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in a last-minute court appearance today. His sentencing now set for December 18th. Criminal defense attorney Donna Rotunno is with us now. Donna, I thought that the highlight of the day was when Luigi Mangione's attorney, Karen Nifolo, came out on the steps of the courthouse and said this. Listen here.
It was a single tragic event, yet he's being prosecuted twice for the same conduct. Mr. Mangione has been unfairly treated since the outset in every way and has successfully fought off terrorism charges and the death penalty, while also fighting at the same time two simultaneous prosecutions in two jurisdictions who are trying to punish him twice for the exact conduct.
Yeah, it's funny because I thought that Brian Thompson was the one that was killed here, not Luigi Mangione.
Well, that's exactly how I felt when I listened to this. And, you know, the Agnifolos are wonderful lawyers, and I don't know why they continue to make statements like this in regard to clients that have now pled guilty to crimes and are not victims. I mean, the one thing she could have said when she came out was Luigi Mangione took responsibility for his actions. Brian Thompson is the victim, and Luigi Mangione is asking for this judge to be fair in sentencing. That's really where it should have ended. But to try to make Luigi Mangione the victim and to talk about, you know, all the supporters that he has and all the back pain that he felt, this was tone deaf to me.
So if you're Judge Garnett and you're listening to this and you know that Mangione is going to ask you to be lenient in sentencing and you don't see even a hint of remorse, what are you thinking about sentence that you're going to impose?
Well, it's one thing that he accepted responsibility and he took a plea, and the federal system does take that into consideration. However, you're right. There is not really a show of remorse. Even in the plea of guilty, there was really no talk about Brian Thompson, the victim here, or his family. It was more about, you know, Luigi Mangione and his comments from his lawyer. So I don't think that the judge is going to take kindly to these types of comments. And even though normally what happens outside the courtroom isn't really of consideration, I do think the whole purpose of lawyers going out on the courtroom steps is for that reason and that reason alone. So I'm not sure this plays well.
Yeah, you know, Jessica Tisch, the police commissioner, said killers aren't heroes, though Karen Nifolo seems to make Mangione out to be a hero. So the sentencing is not going to take place until December the 18th. I assume that is to give a broad enough window for the state case in the event it does go forward.
Well, I'm not so sure the federal system cares that much about the state case. I think that this is very standard in any type of a federal plea. So when you give your plea to the court, you go in, you change your not guilty plea to guilty, and then they put in place a probation officer to do a pre-sentence investigation report.
Okay.
So that's what's going to be done. It's pretty common, and usually they're 2 to 3 months out.
All right, but what about the state case? I guess I was trying to lead you in that direction,
got it.
but didn't do a good enough job.
That's
do you
okay.
think the state case is going to go forward, or do you think that their plea to the courts to throw out the charges, as Paul Manafort's were some years ago, will win the day?
I think you're right. I think the Paul Manafort case is a perfect example here, and I think this is why they rushed into federal court prior to the September 8th state trial date. I think they are going to make this motion. We know they filed one today. I do think that they have a lot of merit here, and the odds of this state case going forward are probably very slim.
So you think that they'll win on that petition to the court? Because there are exceptions to the double jeopardy law. But it has to be something along the lines of, well, the two crimes are fundamentally different.
Yes, and even though the charges themselves are different, they're based fundamentally on the same set of circumstances and the same code of conduct. So I'm not so sure that there's enough of a difference here to say that they are different enough to move forward under New York law. Now, if the judge allows them to move forward and they have a trial, this will be the major subject of appeal, and then a higher court will make the decision. They will argue that, of course, this murder is different than the stalking, even though the stalking resulted in murder, and the defense will argue that it's the same conduct and that he should not have been prosecuted twice. So we'll see what the court does, but this leaves it open for a lot more conversation, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah, a lot to talk about in the months ahead, no question about that. Donna, always great to see you. Have a great weekend. Thank you.
You too. Thank you, John.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.